Hey guys, welcome to my playthrough of Patterna. This time we're doing the colourful levels. So here we have some kind of grid with 4 colours. Well, looking at the number of pattern nodes, we know that some of them have to be shared. I would look at these 2 sets first, as they have the same number, so maybe they're all shared or something. So let's just have a look, see if, and it appears they're arranged in rows and columns, which is kind of helpful. So let's just look and see if, could they all be, say these 3. Then we would know that, no, it can't be that, because we have to have 10, and if it's these 3, we can't have these 2 columns. Which means that we only have 7 overall. In fact, if it's 2 of them, then we can have 1 from each of these columns, so that makes 8 overall. So I think in fact it can't be any of these because of the number of pattern nodes. So we'll just go ahead and clear those, which then makes the green trivial. And now we just have to worry about the rest. So, well, given that there's 1 of each colour but 4 left, we know that this has to be pattern. And then we know that none of them are shared. And so that is the solution. On to the next level. We've got a big old grid. Okay, so we've got a group of 10, but only 9 pattern that aren't on the board so far, so we know it connects to here. As a consequence of that, and just because of how the grid works, we know that it can't go backwards, so it has to only move either right or downwards. And okay, let's see which paths it can't go through. It can only go through 1 green and 1 blue, so we know it can't go all the way to the right and then down. We know it also, wait, it can't go there and then there. It can't go there and then there. So there's no way for it to get to there. Means those 2 are non-pattern. Could it go straight down? It can't go straight down and then right. So that's not pattern. It can't go there and then to there. So it can't be that. But then no, anyway it goes to there, it has to go through another blue. So it can't be that. Also it can't go through here, because if it goes through there, then that's an issue. If it goes through here, then it can't get out of there because of the blues. So it doesn't go there. I guess if we rule out this, then we can also rule out all of that, obviously. So then we have an issue with either the purples or the reds. So I don't think it can go through there. Likewise, it can't go through there because it has to go through at least 1 blue now. And it has to go through that green. So these are out of the question. That's obviously wrong. Question is whether it goes down this path or that path. If it goes down this path, it has used both its reds and both its violets. I'm going to call them purple sometimes, but so it can't be there. So clearly it has to go through there. And that is the path. Oh, what's this? This seems a bit more complicated. Okay, so we have 12 pattern nodes. There's 6 here, so there's at least 2 groups. There's 1 non-pattern node per column. So pretty much just splitting it into 2 groups using 1 non-pattern node in each column. I feel like it has to do with the nodes here which only have 1 connection from the previous. Because like if we say that was non-pattern, then that wouldn't split it at all, because this one also goes to there. So I think it has to be the ones which only have one connection to the left group. That's quite helpful actually. So here we can see these two are already not part of the left group. So we're just showing it, and there's 3 here obviously, so we know this doesn't connect to that simply because of the path length. So we are just trying to split the left from the right, as it were. So that only has one connection to the left group. That's already not part of it, so I think it's this one. Yeah. So only one further node is connected to this. So, well, I would say that this was non-pattern, because otherwise at least 2 more nodes have to be part, because if that was non-pattern, we can't make both of those non-pattern, but if that's non-pattern, we can make that non-pattern. So I think it's this and that. Oh, okay. We've got some. I might turn on colors here. We're gonna just have to deal with those being yellow. Okay, so we got 1 green. Lots of choices for that. 2 blues. Again, lots of choices. 3 reds and 3 purples, but only 4 of each. So we're pretty much just choosing which are non-pattern. What catches my eye is this rectangle here. So if you look, if say there's an edge here of this one and this one, that means that blue can't be one. So if all of these are pattern, then only 1 blue can be pattern, which is wrong. So we know at least one of these is non-pattern. I think in any case that green is non-pattern, because any 2 we choose, and it can't be 2 reds, so it has to be any effective side. Always leaves another, so yeah. Now we just have to kind of pick which. In fact, we can't have a purple and a red be non-pattern, because then the one we like, say we pick that and that only has 1 pattern node next to it, so we know it's only 1 red or one purple. So it's just a case of picking whether it's red or purple. Okay, let's look at this red. So if that was non-pattern, which would make one of these pattern, the purples which are yellow. So it could be, if those 2 were non-pattern, then those 2 would be pattern, except they couldn't because of that. So that's obviously wrong. Could be that and that, maybe? Those 2. Which makes that green pattern, because that's non-pattern from those 2. Which then means that has to be pattern to fulfill that, so that doesn't work. So I think in either case that has to be pattern. That if that was non-pattern and that was non-pattern, that would be non-pattern, so that would be pattern. Yeah, so that wouldn't be pattern. That wouldn't be pattern, neither would that. So yeah, we wouldn't have enough if that was and that was. What about this and that? Again, these 2 would be non-pattern. That would be pattern. No. Yeah, so I think in any case that's pattern. Okay, we know those 2 are non-pattern now. That was non-pattern. Then say that was non-pattern as well. That wouldn't be pattern. Neither would that. Neither would that. So that can't be right. That was non-pattern, that was non-pattern. We have a similar issue with these 3. So that has to be pattern. That's non-pattern. So we know one of these is non-pattern, because we said we can't have a red and a purple be non-pattern, so we know the red's a pattern, which means that's non-pattern. Now it's a case of working this out. So oops. I didn't mean to click that. I was just looking back and clicked it. Okay, so that makes that a bit obvious. Oh, I literally just misclicked that. Yeah, we got that in the end. Okay, what have you got here? We've got 22. Does that match? That matches the numbers in the groups, and we know these 5s can't connect. So every pattern node is in these, so these are trivial. Do we know that it disconnects the top and the bottom? So it can't be like these two. Can be those two. It has to be 2 in these 4, and it has to be 1 in each column. So we know those are. We just have to fit these groups in, basically. I think in any case, this is non-pattern, which doesn't help a great deal. So I don't think it's these 3 are pattern. I think it's those. That's non-pattern. Which makes those non-pattern, which makes that pattern. I think it has to work out like that, and then obviously that. We have one non-pattern left here. And 1 here. I think it has to be like that. That was kind of guessing a lot, but I don't know if there's a way to logically step by step do it. What have you got here? Okay. 14 pattern nodes left, but we have groups of 16 and 15, so we know that. What do we know? We know that probably they're all part of one group to a degree. We know obviously those are pattern. We know. Okay, so the grid here is like diagonal, so these aren't connected. But I think only these connect the 2 like left and right halves or whatever, if that makes sense. So I think these 2 have to be pattern. I think okay, so this needs what, 7 more than that, so 1, 2 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I think they'll go into both of these, but then not go into those. We have 1 blue left. We know that this connects to there, so it can't do it any other way than that, which means all those other blues aren't. We have 1 green, and this has to connect in, so it has to be there. This has to connect, so let's go there, there, so that's part of that group. This has to connect, so it has to be that one. Ah, there we go. That's really weird to look at, because it's in like 2 different grids overlapping. So we've got a grid, 17 patterns. So and a bunch of colours, which adds up to 40. So we know there's shared ones, definitely. It can't be all coloured. I'm going to assume that it'll be mainly, because it's mainly these ones that probably, the ones that have more are going to be their own, and the ones which have less will not be. So like that. I don't know if there's like a logical reason for that, but it looks right to me. Right, since we know 3 of these are part of it, so if it's the middle one, it has to, I think it has to be like a contiguous group maybe. But then it could be the top 2 and the bottom one. But then, oh, either way, this has to be part of the pattern, right? Oh, it has to be connected rather, so, and this. So we know those 2 are definitely ones. Since we know those are pattern, that's the obvious choice for coloured ones. And that one. Okay, that was just kind of, I just went through a bunch of things in my head, but there must have been a way to work that out. Final one of colourful. So, ooh. Okay, well instantly I see it looks kind of symmetrical. These and these. I mean, so if 40 unrevealed overall, so there's 6 non-pattern. We know there's 2 groups at least from this. And that there's, how many in each sector? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's only 1 non-pattern and 2 here, so we know that it's probably either split horizontally or vertically. Because could it be split like 1? No, it has to be split along the same axis, I think. We can't split just one sector on its own. It has to do with these connections here then. So if it was split vertically, well, that would mean that's connected to there, which should, if it was vertically split, be like 2 halves, so that would have to be non-pattern. Those 2 are pattern. That would have to be non-pattern. And that non-pattern, but then that's an issue. I think it must be split along the horizontal axis in that case, so I can see no, like, that has to be non-pattern, that has to be non-pattern, which means those 2, but then that has, yeah, so if it's, I feel like that has to be, no, wait, no, if it's horizontally split, that just connects to the middle itself, so that doesn't really matter. So I'd say that would be non-pattern. That would have to be non-pattern. I think that actually works. Yay. Okay, so once you think about that one's quite logical. So that was the colourful levels. I think next time I'll probably do Pathfinder, just because it sounds kind of interesting. Let's have a look at the first level of that actually, see what kind of thing it is. Yeah, this looks interesting. So I'll do these levels next. So see you then, guys.